On the 22nd of July 2022, 47-year-old Samuel Cartwright was arrested in connection to the fatal dog attack of 71-year-old Freddie Garcia. At around 1:30 p.m. on the 18th of July, security camera footage captured Freddie moments just before the dogs attacked him while he walked along a footpath to a local convenience store in Fresno, Texas. At the time, the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office received a call from a witness reporting that a man was being mauled by 7 dogs. Officers responded to the scene and found Freddie on the verge of death from the brutal attack, and he was airlifted to a Houston area hospital, but soon died from his injuries. Police said that Freddie did nothing to provoke the dogs, who were unleashed and away from the property they belonged to in the 4000 block of Mark Terrace Lane when the attack unfolded. Animal control and deputies captured 4 of the dogs shortly after the mauling, but 3 of them were still on the loose for an unspecified period of time before being captured. All 7 of the dogs were a pit bull mix, but no owner of the animals was identified at the time. Officials said they initially believed the dogs were stray dogs, but an investigation was underway to determine if the dogs belonged to anyone. When the 3 remaining dogs were caught, they were in the yard belonging to Freddie's neighbour, 47-year-old Samuel Cartwright. Samuel told the officers the dogs didn't belong to him, and he said he called animal control as soon as he saw them on his property. He added that there are around 20 stray dogs in the neighbourhood, and people just dump them around here. The sheriff's office said that following an investigation conducted with the help of animal control and the district attorney's office, the authorities were able to determine that Samuel was the owner of the dogs involved in the mauling death of Freddie, and he was arrested. It's unclear if the dogs will be euthanized. Texas law, however, suggests the dogs will likely be deemed dangerous and be put to death. Samuel's held at the Fort Bend County Jail and has been charged with attack by a dog resulting in death. His bond is set at $100,000. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison. 29-year-old Charles Shadrick is behind bars after being charged with murdering his girlfriend's father. The incident occurred at around 2:25 p.m. on the 23rd of July 2022, when the authorities responded to a home located at 12th Avenue Drive West in Bradenton, Florida on reports of shots fired. When officers arrived, they found an unresponsive 67-year-old man in the front yard with apparent gunshot wounds. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office reported the man had appeared to have died quickly from his injuries, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The investigator said that the victim's wife and daughter told them that they were inside the home when they heard a gunshot coming from the driveway. The woman said they ran outside and found the victim laying face down in the grass of the yard, and Charles, the daughter's boyfriend, holding a gun. The authorities said that after the shooting, Charles placed the gun by the door and told his girlfriend, "He won't be bothering you anymore." Moments later, Charles walked unarmed down the street and turned himself into an officer who was responding to the call. The investigator said numerous domestic arguments had taken place between the victim, his daughter, and Charles, all who lived at the same house. The victim's name remains anonymous. Charles has been charged with second-degree murder as the investigation into the matter continues. 41-year-old Alexis Stallman is behind bars after allegedly stabbing her ex-husband Edward Stallman to death and made it look like a crash death. The incident occurred at 10:49 a.m. on the 20th of July 2022, when the authorities responded to a crash scene location at the intersection of Highway 127 and Ava Road in Murfreesboro, Illinois. The victim, Illinois Department of Transportation worker Edward Stallman, was reportedly involved in the crash, which occurred in an ongoing road construction zone. A bystander at the scene performed CPR, and the paramedics transported Edward to a local hospital, but he was pronounced dead upon arrival. After investigating the scene of what was initially believed to be a crash death, the authorities determined that they were dealing with a homicide based on Edward's injuries. The detectives learned that Edward and Alexis allegedly got into an altercation while in the vehicle, and she fatally stabbed him. The authorities believe the construction zone was not a contributing factor in Edward's death. Alexis was arrested and charged with 3 counts of murder and aggravated domestic battery. She remains held at the Jackson County Jail on a $2 million bond. Court records show that Alexis had an upcoming divorce court hearing scheduled for the 28th of July, and that Alexis and Edward are in a custody battle involving a minor. The authorities are searching for 2 men in connection to a shooting that left 2 dead and 1 critically injured. The incident occurred at 10:57 p.m. On the 23rd of July 2022, when the authorities responded to reports of shots fired, located at 19,195 Nottingham Road in Cleveland, Ohio. When officers arrived at the scene, they found 18-year-old Torayoni Chapman and 19-year-old Charles Moore both dead. A 20-year-old woman whose name has not been disclosed was rushed to a local hospital in a critical condition. Though there's not a lot of information available at this stage, the authorities said that the 3 victims were sitting in a red parked car on Nottingham Road when 2 unidentified men pulled up beside their vehicle. The men got out of their car and started firing a high number of rounds at the victims before driving away. The authorities are appealing to anyone with information to come forward as the investigation into the matter continues.